With all that being said, I want to ask my Ohio State fans a question. This is a serious question. When is enough enough? Ryan Day reminds me of that one girl who's pretty, smart, funny, extremely likable, and a well-rounded individual, but there's just something missing. And you hate that it's missing because everything else is fine. I almost made this video late Saturday night like we do with the reaction videos in front of the camera, but I decided, we'll just put it off because we already posted 4 videos that day, but here we are now. I've now had 48 hours to digest what I saw in the Ohio State-Oregon game, but more importantly, what happened to a Ryan Day-led team. Hold on. What is this comment on a recent vid? Matt B. Bald, thanks for that, I guess, is friends with Agent 47, Caillou, and Mr. Clean. Who is Agent 47? I gotta look that up. Agent 47. Okay, I guess this is him. I ain't gonna lie. Kinda look like him. I guess I can see. Okay, I guess it could have been worse. Do look kind of ripped. He wears nice suits. Hey, I'll take that as a compliment. A win is a win, but let's get back on track with the video. Oh yeah, by the way, I say we start with this video with a fun fact. I thought this was interesting. Ohio State is 0-3 against Michigan since 2021 and 0-2 against Oregon. Combine that, Ryan Day against Michigan and Oregon is 0-5 since 2021. Guys, I'm sorry I'm laughing, but that is bad. And I mean bad. You want to know why I say it's bad? Because in all 5 of those games, Ohio State was the better team and had way more talent. And that is my problem with Ryan Day. I think he's a good guy, and I think he's a good head coach. He's not great. The main difference is with your Ryan Days and Nick Sabans in this world, and I'm not comparing the two because I know Nick Saban's the GOAT, so it's not really fair, but you get what I'm trying to say. Great head coaches is the great ones can win the big games. And when I say win the big games, let me clarify, you don't got to go 10-0, but you at least got to go, I don't know, 50-50, more so of like 60-40 or 6-4. You get what I'm trying to say. And it's just like, man, I can't imagine how frustrated Ohio State fans are because Ryan Day can't win any of them. And I'm curious, Ohio State fans, please let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about this? I hate to even say this, but from an outsider's perspective, I kind of feel like y'all are getting used to it, and that's bad. There's no excuse for any of this. None. When you have the more talented team, and you paid, we ain't even got into all this, $20 million doubloons for your team, there's not a single excuse in the world you can point to. I'm going to say that again. $20 million smackaroonies. And you lost. And yet again, it's not that you lost to Oregon. Oregon's a really good team. It's the fact that you can't win a big game. But hold on. Here's where things really get interesting. Let's take a look at some of the cold, hard facts. It's not like anything I said up until this point is wrong, but let's pull out the real cold, hard facts. All offseason long, and I was high on this defense as well, all people told me is Ohio State's defense is going to be top tier. They're going to be a top 10 defense, yada, yada, yada. And they still can have a very good defensive football team, but Oregon made them look like an average defense. Oregon diced them up. They had 0 problems whatsoever moving that ball up and down the field. 496. Do you know what that number represents? That's how many total yards Oregon had. 496, almost 500. You can sit over all day and blame the ref for calling the pass interference on Jeremiah Smith. I know that was a questionable call. And then you can be mad at Will Howard for not having enough awareness. I get it. But those 2 arguments right there are really a scapegoat for this piss-poor defense that I saw Saturday night. And you know whose fault it is? You can blame the defensive coordinator, but it's Ryan Day's. And here's the thing, and I'm going to ask you guys, as someone who keeps up with college football, we talk about it a lot, I analyze it. Why moving forward should I take Ohio State serious if they're playing a big-time game? If your football team gets blown out, that is a talent problem. But if you're losing close games at the end of the 4th quarter and in overtime, you know what that is? That is a coaching problem. I'm not talking about if you lose 1 or 2. That's fine. But Ryan Day does this 1 to 2 times per season, and he's done it for the past 3 or 4 years. With all that being said, I want to ask my Ohio State fans a question. This is a serious question. When is enough enough? When do you just man up, let your nuts hang, and say, you know what? I'm tired of losing these big-time games, and we got to fire Ryan Day. I'm curious because all I see is Ohio State fans taking up for him, and that's fine. I get it. For your rebuttal to be something along the lines of, well, Matt, against Georgia, we lost that because we missed a field goal at the game. I get that. Against Michigan last year, pressure doesn't get to Kyle McCord, and he hits that wide receiver. I can't remember. I think it was Marvin Harrison Jr., Ohio State probably wins that game. Most of his losses have came down to just a couple plays or 1 possession here or there. But outside of that, let's not forget that Michigan just blew the doors off of them, not once but twice. Here would be my rebuttal to the Ohio State fans that are saying, oh, well, it's just a play or 2, eventually those plays will go our way. It's something I've said on the channel for years now. Winners win and losers lose. I can't explain it. Somehow, someway in this life, winners are always going to find a way to win, and somehow, someway in this life, losers are always going to find a way to lose. It just happens to be that way. And you know somebody like this in your everyday life, and maybe it's you. Every single thing you do, you're good at and you win at. With Ryan Day, I'm not calling him a loser by any stretch of imagination, but he sure does know how to lose all these big-time games. I ain't calling him a loser, so do not put those words in my mouth. All I'm saying is, do as you please with this information I'm presenting to you. Let's break this down. Ohio State, talent for talent, is better than Oregon. I don't think anybody's going to argue with that, not even Oregon fans. Let's go back to the year 2023. Talent for talent, Ohio State was just as good, if not better, than Michigan. They lost that one, and they for sure were more talented than Missouri. I know they had the backup quarterback in, but whatever, you still lost. 2022, talent for talent, Ohio State team, that Ohio State team was way more talented than Georgia. They found a way to lose that one. And then they were way more talented than Michigan, and they get blown out. 2021, Ohio State is far more talented than that Oregon team. They found a way to lose that one at home, by the way. Embarrassing. And same thing with Michigan. 2020, Ohio State was not more talented than that Bama team, and they didn't even compete in the game. And some Ohio State fans already know are going to say, well, Matt, we had a couple guys out due to COVID. Dude, that game wasn't even competitive. Devontae Smith had like 200 yards at halftime by himself. 2019, just as, if not more talented than Clemson, you find a way to lose that one. Do you really want me to keep going? I don't think I have to. If you're new here to the channel, and if you've been watching, you know what I'm about to say next. I stated Ryan Day should have been fired, not this year, not last year, not 2 years ago, but after the first loss to Michigan. And finally last year when Ohio State lost to Michigan, again for the third season in a row, that's when Ohio State fans started commenting. They was like, yeah, Matt might have been right about this one. So I know what you're sitting there saying, Matt, are you really about to give me the whole spielio-dealio again about how Ryan Day should be fired and give us another 10-minute rant? No, I'm not. I'm past that, and to be honest with you, I'm just tired of saying it. I've just came to the realization he's not going to be fired, so there's no reason for me to even talk about it. With that being said, you may be sitting there wondering, okay, Matt, well, what's the point of this video? What are you trying to say? Great question, my friend. Great question. I'd love to answer it. In conclusion, Ryan Day pulled a Ryan Day. Let me ask you a question, Little Bro State fans. Are you shocked? This happened. You shouldn't be. Here's some great advice I'm going to offer you. Somebody told me this years and years ago, and he might have got it from a quote or something. I'm sure some of you even seen it. If somebody shows you their true colors, you better believe them. And one of my many catchphrases on the channel is an ace is an ace and a spade is a spade. What does that mean? Well, it means an ace is an ace, a spade is a spade. It's not going to change. Applying that analogy to this situation, if Ryan Day can't win the big game, when are you just going to come to terms with reality? Ryan Day can't win the big game. And it'd be different if he was like 5-5 in his big time games. He can't even win a couple of them. And it sucks if you're an Ohio State fan, because I've been saying this for years. I'd much rather my favorite team go 0-12 for 3 straight years and win the national championship every 4 years than to go 10-2, 11-1 every single season. For me, it's championship or bust. The feeling of watching your team, whether it be in basketball, baseball, football, whatever, win a championship, I mean, that is just all-time high feeling. It doesn't get any better than that. For example, let's use Big Bro for a second. I'd much rather do what Michigan did. Michigan was just average for however long they were average. They weren't even good at some points in the past 10, 15 years, and then boom, out of nowhere, win championship. And guess what's going to happen? These next 10 years, Michigan, they're going to win like 7, 8 games a season. But I'd much rather do that than what Ohio State's currently doing. But hey, Ryan Day's going to Ryan Day. It is what it is. Let me know your thoughts down below. But